Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Freshly Grounded episode 280, I believe, with myself, Big Faze, and of course, the big, hairy man,
Ooh.
Sam.
Oh.
6'6". Yeah, because you got long hair now, bro.
Yeah, but hairy
Sorry,
is
yeah,
nice way to
that's
describe
negative
someone.
connotations, isn't it?
You've been slightly insulted in this podcast. You've been slightly insulting about my height, and now calling me hairy.
No, but I meant like long hair.
Oh, yeah, I have got long hair.
Let's see a little flick at the back.
I can't. It's all tied up. It's all bunged up. It's gone.
MashaAllah. We're joining Big Man Sam. Guys, we have to apologise because as much as we're going to try and clean it up so that you guys don't experience this in the final edit, this has been our first virtual episode since I've moved out to Dubai, and so we were figuring out some technicalities during this episode. And so there's bits where maybe you might see that conversation was a bit stop-start, or there might be some pausing and stuff like that. But we're quite confident we figured it out now, and that everything was a lot smoother for like the second hour. So do bear with us, but it looks like everything's fine and dandy. Sam is hopefully going to come out to Dubai soon. And we're going to do some in person as well, which will be cool. But yeah, this is our first episode back with Sam and I. And we are going to also have another episode in another 2 weeks, inshallah. What did we speak about this episode, bro?
We spoke about the flat earth theory.
No.
We spoke about me being... You asked me the question, am I embarrassing for my son because I'm so tall? We spoke about my height a fair bit. We spoke about your swimming pool. We spoke about your gym. We spoke about your maid's room. We spoke about a few things. It was a good episode. I really enjoyed it, and it's really great to speak to you again.
We spoke about Zachary calling me mummy.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode.
About your electric scooter. You choosing not to go on the electric scooter because it's so hot and your back gets all sweaty.
Yeah, all right. That's enough, guys. It's a really good episode, and we'll see you after this intro. Enjoy.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast.
Well, it's not exactly brand new anymore, is it?
Welcome to Freshly Grounded, the podcast.
That's better.
Created by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded.
After that bit.
Created by
After that bit.
best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you doing, Akhi, man? How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great, alhamdulillah. Can't complain. How are you?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. It's nice to see
Yeah.
you, bro.
It's very nice to see you as well. Feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long time. It's been an arduous, horrible long time without you.
Yeah.
I hope the feeling's mutual.
100%. We've caught up sort of bits and pieces along the way.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I'm just looking forward to actually having a proper catch up with you and seeing how it's all going, bro. Because I'm very intrigued.
I think that's what's nice about Freshly Grounded is that like it's genuine conversation all the time. It's like actually we even when we were doing it in London, when we'd see each other week in week out, that was actually the main time we'd catch up because we'd probably just have like one or two words with each other over WhatsApp throughout the week, innit?
Yeah, exactly that. I'm genuinely wanting to ask you like lots of questions. I really actually want to catch up with you, so hopefully it will serve quite well.
Yeah, I have like loads of things that I've like, you know, like generally like things happen throughout the week and you're like, oh, like that's something that I would speak to Sam about on Freshly Grounded and stuff. Like those things have been happening. So I think like over the episode, like we'll end up discussing all of them. But yeah, man, you might as well ask away, bruv, because I imagine like the big conversation is like kind of the transition and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah, obviously the general stuff, which is really important to be fair, because I've definitely asked you bits and pieces along the way, and you've kind of fed me a little bit of information, but just really curious to how you're settling in, how it's like. Being really honest, how's it being like making such a huge move with the family? I'm just really curious to how you are, how the family are, and how you're feeling, and yeah, quite a big question really. But in general, like, how has it been? How has your experience been so far?
I'll start off by saying like it's hands down I think the best decision I've made.
Wow.
But that's quite that answer is quite misleading because it's been really difficult. It has been really difficult. But that doesn't mean it hasn't been the best decision. But that also, it being the best decision, doesn't mean that it's actually been really fun and easy. So, and it's actually been quite the opposite. So, definitely best decision I've made for like loads of reasons, like which we can go into. But essentially stuff like, bro, you're walking to the mosque, which is a 2-minute walk away for pretty much every salah, like walking through palm trees. Like this, it's so safe that you don't need to lock your doors. Your children, all that kind of stuff. Zachariah's like loves it. He's like, he adjusted straight away. But it's been really difficult in the sense that you're learning everything. Imagine like you're learning everything from scratch because you don't know how things even work. You don't know how things run.
Yeah.
And so something could be really small, like your AC could not be working, and it's like a whole thing of like, okay, I've got to figure this out for the first time. Or, you know, when you're driving, you're allowed to drive on a UK driver's license, but then once you become a resident, you have to have a residence driver's license. You can't drive on a UK driver's license anymore. It's illegal. So it's like, oh, how do I convert my license? So all of those things have obviously naturally happened. And then I think the biggest thing has been, my wife doesn't mind me saying this because I mentioned it in a YouTube video, and I asked her before I did if I can just kind of be open and honest. And I think she's probably out of everyone found it the hardest. I found it. I'm excited, obviously, because I suppose I'm the one who made the move, and I can foresee, or I can like be patient now, knowing that like I feel like it's the right decision. And then the kids love it, but I think for my missus, she's doing it for me, which I love and respect, and I'm so grateful for. But that doesn't mean it's easy for her, because she's had to move away from her family, who help with the kids as well, obviously, naturally, because she's got very close family, as you know, and stuff like that. So I think for her, it's been quite tough.
How about like in Pacific, the heat? Obviously, it must be quite different from what you're used to. How are you kind of adjusting to the heat and the kids?
Yeah, the heat's bad, man. Like in terms of that's right. It's not bad, but it's like very strong, and essentially you just don't go out between Dhuhr and Maghrib, basically, because early morning is fine, and anything after Maghrib is fine. And then the way we're just kind of battling it is, well, you don't have to stay in the house, but you just stay in indoor places. So the house has AC, the car has AC, and anywhere you go to that's indoor has AC. But you wouldn't go to a park at Dhuhr time.
Is that you?
And actually, I've been walking to the mosque.
The general
it
feeling
seems
from
to be the
everyone
general
doesn't
public.
really do that.
Yeah, it seems to be the general public.
Okay, fine.
I've been walking to I've been taking an electric scooter to the mosque, and since I got here, and as of yesterday, at Dhuhr and Asr I've started driving, because now but it's like 44 degrees at that time, so even like just standing outside, if you're just standing outside, bro, like you're gonna come back with a sweaty back. Like, so I'm just jumping in the car now for Dhuhr and Asr even.
Yeah. When will it change slightly? When will it sort of get a bit cooler during the day?
I heard September.
Okay.
So I think
so you're grin and bear it till then.
The long haul. Yeah. But it's not.
Okay,
it's not
nice.
It's not unbearable by any stretch. It's just you just know what to avoid, I guess. Yeah.
Sure, you get used to it.
How's things? How about you, bro? How's things been like on your end since? Like everything still normal? How's nothing's ever normal for you? Like it's just like alhamdulillah, growth and growth and growth. But how's it all been?
Yeah, everything's good, bro. Everything's good. Can't complain. Lots of stuff going on. So lots of different things going on all over the place. So we just came back from Telford, where we did a barber convention for a weekend with the whole team, which was really cool. It was nice to go up there. That was the weekend just gone. Done a fair bit of travelling over the last couple of weeks. Been to Amsterdam a couple of times.
Telford sounds like it's in the UK.
Telford is in the Midlands, actually. It's not far from Birmingham. So it's a couple of hours, so it's not too bad. But yeah, look, there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and very much enjoying it. Each day brings like a new challenge. Some days are easier than others, but in general, bro, everything's good, man. Enjoying it.
Oh, mate, I think I've lost you again.
Yeah, usual stuff, really. And that's all I've got to say on that question.
Okay, so I think we fixed the technical issue that we're having, but what it does mean is that I didn't hear the end of your last answer. But things are good in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, even when your answer you were giving me, just to clear it up, like there's been a few technical issues and it hasn't been completely smooth sailing till now. So even your answer, it was slightly delayed and stuff. So, and I believe my answer to your question was slightly delayed, but everything's good your end, it's a bit hot. Everything's good my end, same old stuff. Yeah. And moving swiftly on.
Right. Okay, cool. But yeah, so I've been really excited about the Untitled Chapter. Like, we set up this new set that you can kind of see behind me.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to come to the UAE and do episodes in person, which I suspect, providing your schedule permits, should be sooner rather than later. Yes. Hopefully, within the next couple of months, it'll be cool to basically get you in and then shoot a few episodes in person, which will be really cool.
Inshallah, that'll be amazing.
If you're up for it.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually kind of like briefly looking at sort of flights and accommodation for Dubai over the next couple of months. Kind of, I was looking at sort of like a month ago. But it's obviously, I think it's a little bit cheaper, but obviously it is a lot more. It's hotter, like you were saying. It's quite a hot time to be there. So,
yeah.
I was thinking with the kids and stuff. Is it the best? When's the best time to go to Dubai on like a vacation?
Oh, you were going to come with the kids?
Potentially, I don't know. Depending what just looking at the whole thing and seeing, just as an idea, yeah.
Yeah, I think like with the kids, bro, you just don't want them to be bored and stay in, and essentially they would almost have to. Like it is too hot for the kids to go out now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just come by myself then, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just come by yourself. H is here.
Sorry.
Hanan's here.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, I see your stories yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that you were giving him a trim like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I trimmed Hanan and Aman before they went, to be fair.
Sick. Yeah, I didn't know they were coming. They kind of surprised me.
Oh, was it a surprise?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh, they told me they were going to see you.
Yeah, well, I didn't know, and then they kind of surprised you. It was really, really nice. It's always nice seeing people from like home because like it feels familiar. But bro, there's always people here from home, so it never like you don't, bro. Honestly, I'm so happy that the fact that I moved away, that it was to Dubai, because there's obviously other options. Like right now, loads of people moving to Turkey and stuff like that. But Dubai is the #1 place in the world. London to Dubai is the most common flight in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So, bro, since we've been here, there hasn't been one day where there hasn't been someone from back home here.
Nice.
Yeah, which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I see you were playing the game last night with them, weren't you?
No, I just reposted that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's that? Is that your apartment?
No, that's their. That's their. Like they look sick in it. That's what they hire.
It looks nice. Yeah, good view.
What's that?
Look like a very nice view.
It's a very, very nice view. Very nice view.
Yeah. Where's that? JBR.
That's JBR.
Nice.
But even then, bro, like I parked up and then it was like a 10-minute walk from the car park their hotel. By the time I got to the hotel, bro, like I was just drenched in sweat, bro. It's rough, man. Like you don't want to be out in the sun, bro, because mainly you'll just smell sweat in it. Yeah. So
it's quite quiet, is it, through the day, would you say? Very
quiet, very, very quiet.
Yeah. Okay. I heard that they put like large ice blocks into the swimming pools to cool them down and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. It's very hot.
Is that potentially? Could you class as a conspiracy theory?
I was told by someone who called a travel agent, and they told the person. I mean, it could be a conspiracy.
What a sales technique that is!
So they basically said it's very hot to come to Dubai now, but we have shaded areas around the pool, and we put like large blocks of ice in the pool. Apparently, that's what he was told.
Okay,
I've never heard of ice being put in the pool, but it kind of makes sense in a very hot area. People want to keep cool, you know.
Yeah, the swimming pools I've experienced here have been, the water's been hot, like quite warm.
Have you done a lot of swimming?
I actually have dabbled.
Nice.
Yeah, I've dabbled.
Nice.
We've got a swimming pool in our area, so
say that again?
I couldn't.
What did you just say?
We got a swimming pool in the area.
In the area? Was it far from the house?
Sorry?
Is it far from the house?
No, it's in the compound. What?
Fair play.
Shut up, bro.
Fair play, mashallah. Okay, fair play. You got a swimming pool. I didn't realise that. That's amazing. Oh, I'm definitely going to come.
I can't wait for you to come down.
Wow.
Imagine that.
That's quite incredible. I'm very happy for you. That is
It's a
literally
nice
one of
swimming
my
pool. So
biggest goals.
I can't really swim, but
know, I
my
saw-
father-in-law was here and he taught me. So imagine that scenario with your wife watching on as a grown man, having her dad teach you how to swim. That's what I experienced a few weeks ago. So. He was like holding me up, like by my legs. It was so. I felt like a kid, bro.
With your wife, did you say with your wife watching on? Yeah.
Yeah, she was watching on. So cause she had the kids in the. There's like a kids pool.
Mm-hmm.
She was like kind of
Your
watching.
kids pool as well.
Yeah, Zachariah loves swimming, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Even with that, bro, like I've noticed that one of the changes here is that in the UK, when we're cleaning the kids, we just give them a bath, like all the time, right? Like we just put them in the bath, they'd have a bath together, and they'd love the bath, they'd stay in there for a long time, and then they get out. Here, you find that we've been giving them less baths and more showers.
Yeah.
It's just quick. It's so hot and you're sticky. It's like in and out. Like you don't want to like even the bathrooms don't have AC. So when you're sitting around in the bathroom, it's hot and stuff like that. So there's things like that have changed. And Zachariah now doesn't let me shower without him showering with me. So even today, I was jumping in the shower this morning and he saw me and I was like, oh no, and he comes into the bathroom, takes all his clothes off and jumps in the shower. So I'm like showering. So it's cute that he does that now, but it's also sometimes I just want to quickly have a shower.
I was going to ask you, is it slightly annoying? Because I know when I'm trying to get ready and you're trying to get showered, to have a little kid there would be almost a little bit irritating.
It is slightly annoying. And then sometimes when you're like, sometimes you're like washing his hair, he's like, it's not the most pleasant scenario,
but you've got to do it because you're a dad.
Yeah, he's cute. He's like, it's nice because with Zachariah, I'm experiencing new things now. He's 2.5, and I know you've obviously experienced that age now. But bro, like they learn like the speed of lightning, and so whereas you remember before, like in the UK, even as recently as like before I was leaving, I was telling you about like him being quite slow with talking and stuff like that. Bro, now like he knows the colours, red, green, purple, blue. He can identify them, which is obviously even more important. He can identify, like this morning when we after we showered, he was like, he can't say T, so he says a C instead. But he's like cowl for the towel. And so he can speak a lot more, and he's very intelligent along with it now. It took some time, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, he's only 2.5 though. You got to give him some slack, man.
Yeah,
he's only young. Takes time.
I guess, but you do compare regardless of whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
So.
But you do. But I think you got to give kids time, man. I think you got to assess them when they're a little bit older in life, where they are with all that kind of stuff. I think kids settle at their own rate.
Yeah.
Each kid does a different thing, you know. That's what from my small amount of experience I've learned.
I think like when you speak to people and like every single person's like, you see a kid that's like the same age as your kid, and then everyone is like, is he speaking sentences yet? And like, yeah, he speaks sentences. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my kid's not even saying words, let alone sentences. So I think it's only because as much as you know not to compare, it's like when everyone else like is alright, and it's like, is everything okay with him? But yeah, he's like, he couldn't really speak much, and then when he did, it just like all came at once. So like I think he was just like holding it in, and now like when it rains, it pours. And he's like saying everything now.
What? So now you're not questioning his anything?
No, we're not worried about him as much. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Good. You could give him time, man.
Yeah, I think like something that obviously I told you, I don't mind speaking about it now, I think, because I suppose like we're not going through it as much, and at the time it was quite a difficult thing, but I suppose what you're referring to is that when you and I spoke privately, we had some concerns that perhaps he could be autistic, because some of the people at like play centres, like some of the staff and stuff thought, oh, maybe he could be, and then like they did some assessments of him, and the assessments all came back like, it's possible, like nothing was certain, everything was like, yeah, he could be actually. And then they would be like, oh, but then he does this and this is normal. And it was constantly like that until, and so that worried us obviously. And then, alhamdulillah, like everything just kind of all came at once. But I should actually mention, it's actually important that I mention this. I spoke to Sheikh Tim about the situation, and I think I told you that. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did tell me, yeah.
And because Sheikh Tim deals with a lot of families and family stuff. And I explained to him, and I said, do you think there's anything that I should, from a spiritual aspect, like consider? And he said, look, there's no harm in doing the 7-day ruqya course. And so I did do that on Zakaria, and I did notice a big change after, I'll be honest. And that 7-day course, I think, is available on his website, like mohammedtim.com/7 day or 7 days or something like that. But I would recommend that if anybody's like going through something where they like neither here nor there, like what is the harm in you reciting Quran like over your child? Obviously you're doing it according to the Sunnah and like the way that's instructed on that website. Like I think that made a big difference. So yeah, like alhamdulillah, like things.
Great.
Yeah.
It's amazing news.
Yeah. Did you say that's amazing news or did you say that's amazing dude?
I said amazing news.
Oh, because I was like, it's not like Sam say dude.
No, I don't say dude.
Have you ever said
amazing
dude?
Dude. Not. Yeah. Hey, dude.
Really? I don't think I've heard you say that.
Nah, it doesn't really work for me so much. But it's a word for someone like yourself to use more, maybe.
Okay. What do your kids call you, by the way?
Papa.
Oh, okay. That's odd.
Few people say that.
Yeah, that's really weird, actually.
Why is that weird? Why is it weird?
Because you're being white British, I would imagine dad or father. Father.
Papa's quite traditional, isn't it?
Yeah, you're a traditional man.
Papa.
Okay. I know some like Asians call their dads Papa.
Yeah. What do your children call you?
I'm trying to get them to call me Abu.
Abu, yeah.
Because that's like what we would call my dad. But it's not working. Currently, Zachary calls me Mummy. So... I guess. But sometimes he does say Dada, right? But never Abu. So... Yeah, but like I'll come in the house and he does that thing now where when you come home like he runs to me and like to give me a hug.
Nice.
That's new. Which I hadn't experienced before, and
oh nice.
But then sometimes I'll open the door and he's like, "Mummy," and then he wants to just give me a hug. I'm like, "Is that Abu?" So
calling you mummy and running towards you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Towards me, calling mummy, so.
That's good.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about that. Mainly negative. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be worse. But
he says,
Papa, I've always been Papa. And I think my parents don't really understand why they call me Papa. And they always like say Dad and then go, "Oh no, Papa, isn't it?" So it hasn't really flowed with everyone, but it flows with us. Papa's good.
So who made the decision that they're going to call you Papa? Because you didn't call your dad Papa?
No, I didn't call my dad Papa.
So it's not a generational thing. So who decided that your kids will call you Papa?
Probably my missus, and I think my son like started saying Papa when he was really young, and we just kind of like went with it. I don't know where it came from. It was never like it definitely wasn't my idea.
I'm suspicious about that actually.
I like it though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What do you think?
Yeah, like Big Papa Kane.
Yeah, well there you go.
Yeah, it makes sense now, doesn't it? Actually, my kids should call you Big
I don't know
Face.
whether you knew that, but yeah, Big Papa Kane. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
nice man.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes.
Do your kids still, are they at the age where like you come home and they come running to you, or?
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah.
Both of them.
I went to my eldest assembly this morning before jumping on here, and after they'd finished the assembly, he ran to me and my missus and gave us both like a massive hug.
Oh, that's so cute.
Loves it. He loves it.
Oh, that is very, very cute, mashallah. So he's not embarrassed by you?
Say that again?
He's not embarrassed by you?
Nah, he wasn't. Certainly not. In fact, he was giving us a lot of affection. Maybe not too much, but he was giving us a lot of affection the whole time. Everyone was like chatting about the assembly and stuff, and he was just giving us like hugs and kisses most of the time. Yeah,
you would think that maybe he would be a bit embarrassed by you because obviously you're a tall, towering figure.
Why would you be embarrassed because someone's tall?
What? He's like,
what? Those words you
stick out. You stick out, don't you? It's like, you know when rich kids get picked up by like their dad in a Bentley or something, and they're like, "Oh, dad, like just pick me up a normal car." Like normal kids, like, why can't I have a normal dad that's 5'10"?
You just said, I imagine he's embarrassed of you because you're tall. Yeah. That's so. I mean, I would hate to think that he's embarrassed of me. I mean, at the age of 6, at the tender age of 6, I don't think I'm embarrassing to him in front of his friends. I think they quite like me that I'm tall. In fact, he had a couple of friends around last night when I got back. I went in the garden and they went, "Wow, your dad is huge."
Was he like, yeah, he is?
I was like, yeah, I am. Yeah, I was. But I am. Obviously, I was the tallest father there today. And I don't think he's embarrassed of that, though. Thank you, though, for making me think about it.
I don't know if this is racist. Does anybody say that Zayden looks like Prince George?
No.
Has no one ever said that?
No.
No.
Did you start? Sorry, before you said that, what did you say?
I don't know if this is racist. Bro, when I see Prince George, I think of Zayden.
That's weird.
Is it? I'm going to Google Prince George. You've seen Prince George, right?
The thing is, I don't know what he looks like. No, I don't know what he looks like. Not recently. I haven't seen a recent picture, I don't think, nah.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah, nice. It looks great. Oh my gosh.
Does he look like Zayden? I can't remember now. No, not really.
No? Not at all. Okay. It's not like a million miles off with the haircut, but...
Okay. So, are you offended?
It's I mean, am I offended? I'm not offended. I expect it.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to your mid-episode ad.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, sorry. So we just finished filming an episode of The Inner Circle, which as you can see, the collateral of right now. We ordered some carrot try, we ordered some pancakes, there's some biscuits here, and there's a melted Kinder Bueno.
Yeah, which you wanted from me, but
you didn't give it. And this is what Inner Circle is all about. We have some food, we have some drink.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
And we have some natter, don't we?
Yeah, we have a laugh. If you guys enjoy that kind of vibe, who wouldn't? Jump ship over to the Inner Circle.
Join us. Don't jump ship, but join us.
Join us. So every single week, there's an extra episode of the podcast. After we finish filming the actual episode for YouTube, we then carry on filming for... Sorry, all this characters coming out. We carry on filming for the Inner Circle. Join us every single week. freshlyguarded.com/Inner Circle.
Absolutely.
All of the houses here have a maid's room, which is a very, very small box room that I think essentially are designed for people who want to have maids. We don't have a maid, so it's just like a spare, really small room. You can't really do much with it. So I've been racking my head over what to do with it because it's just like it's space. I don't want to end up like wasting it as storage. So I was thinking I could use it as a guest room, but then I was like, well, how often are guests gonna come and stay in that room? So like we've got that room designed for it being used 10% of the time, or even if it was 20% of the time, like 80% of the time is not being used. That just doesn't feel like a good use of space. So then I was like, I could turn it into a kid's playroom or a home gym. But then I thought the home gym thing, I've decided to go against it because I feel like it's a farce. Like when you tell yourself that you're going to do a home gym and you're going to use it, I think it's you never do use it. And I know people say that, and I was like, no, you do. But essentially, if you're not going to the gym to travel to the gym, and then you try and put a gym inside the house, you haven't fixed the issue. The issue is in the brain, and it's like the motivation and the discipline, isn't it? I think. I
would have to add to that. Recently, a friend of mine transverted his garage into a gym, and he's used it so much, and it's caused a lot of ease for him because the journey to the gym and the time and the travel etc. can be the inconvenience for some people. So I think if you've got no excuse other than just to walk however many yards into an area that you can train, it's worked for him. So it's interesting to watch because I was thinking, do you know what, I bet you won't use it, but to be fair, he's used it a lot, and there's no excuse because it's literally 2 seconds from his house. So I've seen it. Omar does the same. I know a few people who've got home gyms who actually use it quite regularly, to be fair, but I don't know.
Would you do that?
If I had the extra space, I think that makes perfect sense, 100%. I think even having like a running machine and a bike and a few free weights and stuff would be ideal. If you could just jump on a running machine or on the bike for half an hour a day, you've got no excuse really. So yeah, I probably would. If I had the spare space, I probably would.
How's your move been? Because last time we spoke, you were doing a move as well.
I haven't moved yet, bro, to be honest. It was all supposed to happen. There's just been lots of few things have popped up along the way. So just in no man's land a little bit.
Really?
To be honest. Yeah, there's a few things. It's long story short, there's a lot of water nearby, and there's just potential kind of obviously as you can imagine, like risk flood, but it's more like we're just trying to find a bit more details about how much it can change over the course of time and stuff. So that's where we are with it. A few things have been flagged up, so just assessing a few
that
things.
makes sense, bro. I would take that into serious consideration, because
yeah, I know,
especially if you're planning for it to be a long-term move.
This is it, and it's also like getting rid of it, and however many years down the line when things have changed, potentially changed dramatically with the rivers and the water and stuff, and it not being, and leaving us in a bad position. So just in a little bit of no man's land of it, to be honest, at the minute. But I'm perfectly happy with it, because I'm very happy where I am and stuff. But nothing's really happening. Just
is that a sign
stuff.
that you need to come to Big Dubs?
Say again.
Is that a sign that you need to come to Big Dubs?
Is that a sign that I need to move to Dubai? It could be. It could be. Don't worry, I know you're rooting for me to move my family out there.
I would love nothing more than for you to move to Dubai.
Do you know what? When it makes sense, why not? I need to get a few men's spies over there first, but we're working on it. But yeah, I mean, who knows?
There's a big market. There needs to be the one thing that they haven't found a solution to. I think there needs to be there needs to be, like, basically, there's no like go-to barbershop that I think that everybody's like, yeah, that's the spot. I don't think anyway.
There's a couple of okay ones. I know the market there. Like, we've been trying to get one open there for years, to be honest. And we had one open there recently, but we decided for the long term it wasn't going to work. We were in one of the hotels over there. But the real goal is to obviously have a really nice shop there. There's some okay shops. There's definitely a lot of good barbers in Dubai, but there's not that many great like branded shops. So I do believe the market, we would do very well there. We have been trying, and I will continue to try. And I have a feeling it will happen sooner than later. Just need someone very trustworthy on the ground. So I'm just trying to find someone that I can trust on the ground. I'm only joking. It will happen. I believe in it. But I know that you've got a good barber. I've actually someone showed me his page. Aman showed me his page, and I found some nice pictures of you on that page. And I thought, wow, he's got a nice fade there. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right.
Okay
I am on that page, I think. Yeah.
You are on that page, yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah, Shabs, good
yeah,
guy.
Looks like a very good guy.
And he's from the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice getting a trim from like a UK barber, I guess, like, 'cause it's what you're used to, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad, because you weren't sure, were you, what you were going to do with your hair?
Yeah, and he actually has said to me that he would like love to meet you, so he'll love that you gave him a little props there.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a few of the haircuts he's done. Very nice.
Yeah, he actually learned in lockdown, I think. Yeah.
Fair play.
So,
nice.
bro,
good for you.
It's if you had if there was an opportunity for you to come down here over the summer to film episodes of FG and stuff like that, would you do it, considering obviously that how hot it is and that you'd probably have to do a lot of indoor stuff, mostly stuff like that? Like, if you could come by yourself, how realistic is it?
Yeah, if the dates make sense.
Fine.
Sure,
so the heat
doesn't
put you off, basically.
The heat doesn't put me off, mate. Nah.
Yeah, you're born for this.
Yeah, I'm born for it.
The thing is, you're closer to the sun than some of us, most of us. So that could affect it as well.
Is that another comment about my height?
It kind of.
That's 2 now on the podcast.
Yeah. Keep count.
I don't make comments about your height much, do I?
I think you made a fair enough for there's a bit of leg.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I got one last note that I wanted to, not one last conversation, but like one last note. I wrote down a few things that I wanted. I was like, let me ask Sam about this, or I like, because I knew our episode was coming up, so I had like some things I wanted to speak to you about. And then I was listening to a podcast, and they were speaking about the flat Earth theory in there, and the flat Earth theory convention, right? And I thought to myself, Sam and I haven't discussed this since that big episode where I think loads of our fans wrote him off, and he's never spoken about it since then.
Wrote him off.
I just want to know, bro, are you still a flat earther?
What's a flat earther?
Someone who believes that the earth is flat. Come on,
So, yeah, I made a
yes or no. You don't have to dive into it, but we have to.
I made a comment on Freshly Grounded many years ago about flat Earth, and I got a lot of not backlash. I got a lot of response from that. One of them was from NASA.
Yeah. Someone worked at the HQ of NASA. Yeah.
Yeah. NASA got in touch, but a few people got in touch, and a lot of people got in touch who believe that those same theories.
Okay.
It's a subject that I looked into many years ago, amongst many other subjects. Some people call them conspiracies, some people just call them subjects. But to answer your question, I do still believe those theories. From my understanding and what I've studied, there's a lot of evidence to provide that it makes more sense. But I can see by the smile on your face you don't agree, which is fine. But I recommend to anyone with all these things, take some time, a couple of hours if you've got it, and take a look at different sides of the stories and different kind of like I suppose different subjects, different stories, different conspiracies, however you want to call it. There's lots of very strange and interesting things out there that have been covered up and whatever. And this is something that I do. Don't really study it or look at it anymore. But I did spend some time on it, and from what I got from it, bro, I still believe what I mentioned on the podcast a couple of years ago, that the Earth is flat.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at that. What I'm smiling at is that we finally have an answer, because obviously we haven't spoken about it, even you and I, for years. So it's nice to know where you stand with it.
And where do you stand with it? Is it something you've ever looked at?
Well, since we spoke about it, I never looked into it, and I personally believe that the Earth is round, but I suppose that's because of default.
That's because you're being taught that at school, yeah. But you also that also goes in line with the Big Bang Theory, in the sense of Darwin's theory and that we come from evolution. So just to add to it, that whole theory, they go hand in hand. But obviously, as Muslims, we don't believe that we've have evolved from frogs or monkeys or whatever it is that theory says. So they kind of go hand in hand, but it's a very big subject, and anyone who's kind of like conscious or woke or interested in all that kind of stuff, like there's plenty of like reasonable, in fact very, very good documentaries on YouTube, like explaining different views of it, and different experiments that I've done, and pilots talking, and loads of interesting things. It's a very, very interesting subject. And Antarctica, loads of crazy stuff, and all the conspiracies that go around the Antarctic, and the ruling and the laws, and the fact that all the countries in the world have come together they've all got their flag there, but no one is allowed to go there. Anyone who's been there hasn't returned. There's all these people say conspiracies, but there's all these factual stories that have happened that have been covered up. And if people do have time and they are interested in that kind of stuff, YouTube it. There's a lot of crap on YouTube, but there's a lot of interesting documentaries that shows you things from a different view, I suppose. So that's the answer. I stand. I wouldn't talk about it in great detail on a platform like this, because most people think I'm absolutely insane, and that's fine. But like, it's just something that I studied, looked into, and I thought, wow, I know it's ridiculous because we're taught and what we're taught, and the evidence provides and shows us the other. But when you really look at it and you see see some corruption, and see the corruption of people who go into space, and all the Freemasonry connected to astronauts, and actually all the cover-ups that NASA did, just start with YouTube and search NASA bloopers, and all the kind of the people up in space who are basically claiming they're in space, and you can see that then they're not, and it's all kind of staged, and there's loads of stuff, man. There's loads of stuff. I'm going to stop there.
No, I'm not.
I could talk about it,
because it looks
but
like I'm laughing, but I'm not.
I just know where you stand with it, and I know I've got to be careful, because even talking on these kind of platforms, I used to always speak about these things and even whatever, and I've just learned over the years it's kind of best to just keep these things a little bit more, not to yourself, but have these conversations with other people who are maybe interested in it, and certainly never preach about it, because a lot of people just throws them. People think they're crazy, but it's an interesting subject. There's lots of interesting things, like I said, lots of different theories about different things, and I'm all for it.
Speaking about YouTube, but what is your take on motivational speakers? Oh no, we spoke about motivational speakers, didn't we? Like because we spoke about in our last episode we spoke about what's his name?
Yeah, we spoke about Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn, yeah. So what's your take on motivational speakers these days? Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. There's this guy I was listening to today called. I wonder if you've heard of him. The guy was. Oh, it doesn't say his name.
Is it new? Is he?
Patrick Bet-David?
No.
Oh.
No. My thought. I mean, would you class Jim Rohn as a motivational speaker? I suppose it is that, isn't
definitely.
it? Yeah. I do. I listen to Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, like old school stuff. I like it, especially Jim Rohn, man. I really, really like Jim, and I listen to him often. I don't like Gary Vee. I don't really like Grant and the new school kind of stuff as much. It doesn't really like touch me so much.
Is that because it's more centric to money? It seems like it's more money focused, whereas Jim Rohn is more like self-improvement, right?
Jim Rohn is like my all-time favourite person to listen to, and every day, without doubt, I actually listen to Jim Rohn. To be honest, every single shower I listen to it. Quite often the same stuff over and over again to kind of like imprint some of the powerful things he says like into me. And it's all about it is about personal development and discipline and getting the most out of your life. And it kind of he allows me to really face up to like my bad habits, and he just makes it really kind of like cold, honest and brutal about if you want to be successful, what you want to do. And I just find that really has more of an effect on me than hearing Gary Vee. Nothing Gary Vee's ever said has ever really inspired me, unfortunately. It doesn't really suit me. His kind of he's obviously amazing what he does, but it doesn't really do anything for me. Used to listen to a lot of Tony Robbins as well. I think he says a lot of quite powerful things, but I don't really listen to him so much. But yeah, Jim Rohn I listen to regularly, and it just he impacts me.
Could that be because?
And I just think it's so when you've got a bit of spare time, forget putting a song on your favourite track or whatever, your favourite artist. Put something on about learning about discipline or learning the art of communication or learning how to to invest or whatever, and you listen to it, and it is literally you're just bettering yourself and you're opening your mind. And I just try and consume it as much as possible, but generally with just Jim Rohn is my go-to. Yourself?
Could it be because I also love Jim Rohn's content, especially when I came across it. Well, I only came across it a couple years back, as opposed to because obviously his content's been around since before I was alive.
Long time. Yeah.
I think perhaps you like Jim Rohn's content for the same reason I do, which is that he doesn't necessarily tell you anything new, but he puts things in a new perspective that you're like, raw, I never saw it through that lens. Whereas maybe the other guys, the more newer guys, they are focused a lot more about money. And I think that humbly, I think that perhaps you don't struggle with you don't need somebody to tell you how to run your business, because you don't struggle with you're not unclear about how to run your business, but perhaps you will always be welcome to trying to improve your personality or your character or your discipline, like anyone should be. So perhaps it calls up, because I imagine that a lot of people who consume a lot more content from your Grant Cardones and stuff are people who perhaps haven't made it, could you say, or are trying to figure out how to do business, whereas maybe because you're not struggling with that, Jim Rohn is more
I still certainly haven't made it, although they're doing well. I'm still certainly very much a student in this whole business world. Haven't been in it that long, and I'm still very much a student. So I'll listen to anyone, and I always would love to listen to something about giving me any kind of advice for my business. More so the communication, what I should be doing, how I should be treating people, and what I should be doing, I suppose, rather than the actual physical business as such. But I'll listen to anything. It's not like I wouldn't listen to it if it's about building a business, because I still am very much trying to build a business. So it's not that. I think it's just their energy and Grant is always talking about real estate and billionaires and flying private jets and stuff, which is cool. Doesn't really grab anything he says. Doesn't really grab me. Him as a person doesn't really grab me. Gary Vee, I find he's obviously amazing, but I find him like he's just always talking about NFTs, and I just find him borderline a bit geeky. I don't find him inspiring. I find him a bit like irritating. I don't know why I'm being now negative about these people, but like I find it difficult to find people that really like inspire me. I think the thing that Jim Rohn does, because he's an older guy, and how he talks, even we were doing the impressions and how he talks, it's not like he himself is like particularly inspiring. I don't know like the great details about his personal life of what he's even really achieved. I just know how, like you said, like how he puts things makes you look at things in a new way, and it really just impacts me. And like I said, I listen to his stuff about discipline. In fact, the reason we started speaking about it in the first place was the quote you said, which was remind me.
I can't remember the exact quote. I think then we ended up speaking about the one where he's like, don't think about how something can be different. Think about how you can be better, or something like that. I can't remember. Along those lines.
But yeah, I just find like what he's saying like just like so powerful, and it to the point where it stops me, and like I'll rewind it and repeat it, and it just that does something for me. So I latch onto it. Maybe I'll get bored of it soon. I don't think I will. There's something about it that it just really like it does it for me. I try and absorb it as much as possible. And it's not, like I said, it's not because I look at him and I'm inspired by him. It's just how he puts things. Even how he talks is like, it's not irritating. It's like he's you know, you heard how he talks. He goes, I'm not going to do an impression of him, but it's just something about it, like the words and how he puts things together makes me really like think and contemplate. And it's self-development, isn't it? It's literally just all he promotes is self-development, becoming a better version. If you want to get further in life, you can literally have whatever you want, but you have to get yourself ready for it. You have to do it. Like this, no one's going to come and help you. And it's just how he puts it together. I feel like he literally just helps me daily.
Oh, I think we said the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. That's
it. The pain of discipline, the pain of regret. And little things he talks about. He just talks about like the easy things. Like you don't. Yeah, no. He says a lot of stuff. He just like really does this. I like it. Yeah, as you can tell.
Yeah. Then one I said that like after was that don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Exactly. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom.
He just puts success and whatever you want to achieve onto you and makes you feel very responsible for yourself, which is good.
And he simplifies it. I think his perspective. What I like about him is the perspective. Like the fact that he puts things that everybody knows, but in perspective. Like either you run the day or the day runs you. Like everybody understands how time works, but when you put it like that, it makes you think. Yeah, you're right. Like either I can make active decisions in my day, or I can just be reactive to everything that happens. And that's essentially what he's saying. But it's the perspective is changing, isn't it? So. I think I just consumed a lot of his content in one go, like about a year or two ago. Like that's all I would listen to, and then so I had to take a step back, but I really enjoyed it.
Do you listen to like motivational, like people talking about self-development stuff? Is that something that you tap into?
I do a lot actually. So this morning I was listening to that guy, Patrick, whatever I mentioned, and. Do you know what it is, bro? Recently, I've been listening to more specified, like rather than general motivation. Actually, rather than general motivation, I've been listening to a bit more specified motivation recently because I suppose like I'm out here and I'm trying to like get things straight with like business and stuff, which is like a scary place to be. And so I've been like trying to be motivated specifically in like the world of business, and so. This talk that this guy was doing, it was like a keynote of his that I was into this morning. It was about how a great chess player, an amateur chess player knows his next 1 to 3 moves. A good chess player knows his next like 5 to 10 moves or something. And what they call a grandmaster chess player knows his next 14 moves. And he was saying that you need to be a grandmaster in your business. You need to know your next 14 moves in your business. And the whole talk was about that. And it was really interesting. And that felt practical to me because it makes me want to do an exercise in my head that goes, okay, what are my next 14 moves in an ideal world? Because then when it's written out, I can go, okay, it's like they become rungs on a ladder. Like, okay, I've done that, and then move on. So I think like recently I've enjoyed more practical motivation in that sense. But then also I've been listening to a person that I was kind of put off for a bit, and then I think you have to utilize these people and their different niches of motivation at different times. And so David Goggins I started listening to a lot more recently. And I don't know how you feel about David Goggins because he's quite hardcore. But I used to listen to him a lot in the gym. And then that was around the time he did that podcast with Joe Rogan. Then I didn't listen to him for ages. And then I recently started listening again. And that was because recently I felt like I needed motivation to be disciplined again. Because he speaks a lot about discipline. And his whole thing is don't do something, don't wait until you emotionally feel like you want to do something. Because if you're relying on your emotions, you're always going to be up and down. Do it because you have to do it because it's a decision you've made. So if you go to the gym only when you fancy going to the gym, you're never going to be consistent. If you go to gym because every day at 9 a.m. I go to the gym, it's just you do it because you have to, because it's a discipline thing. And I needed that in my life because I'd moved here, and because we were settling here, everything was out of routine, and I needed to get routine back. So I was like, I need to get myself, and then bro, it worked, man. Like I set my alarm for 4, and every day I wake up at 4. My alarm is set for 4:10 every day. Some days you get up, some days you don't, to be honest. But the idea is 4:10 I wake up every day. Ideal scenario, I'm going to the mosque for Fajr. Ideal scenario, I'm there and doing Quran until 5:30, come back with the kid. Very, very disciplined day. And I found that I think everybody needs discipline, but I found that I need discipline, i.e. I need decisions to be made for me in my life. In order for me to be the best version of me. And what I mean by decisions made for me is not that I need people to make decisions for me, but I need to make decisions for myself in pen and paper when I'm feeling motivated, and I stick to it when I'm not feeling motivated. So the decision is, every day I go to the gym at 9 a.m, for example. Okay, now I'm not feeling motivated, but I made that decision, I have to stick to it, kind of thing. So I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So is that how you're living at the minute, yeah? You're building this very strong, disciplined...
Yeah,
nice.
I know it's either discipline or the stuff that I'm consuming from a motivational perspective is either based around discipline or it's based around business. I have so much to learn about business, bro. I think you're gonna probably say I'm talking down on myself, but I think I'm a good judge of character of myself, bro. And I think I'm a bad business person, or I think rather than saying a bad business person, probably a bad salesman. And I think that everybody has to be a salesman in business, don't they? But I think if I look at where my strengths are, it's probably in creating, in content, in having a vision for something. But then selling that vision, I think is quite difficult. And some of the other parts of business I find quite tough.
I mean, I haven't seen enough to really make a detailed comment.
That's worrying as my
what
business partner.
Sorry? No, I totally disagree with you, bro. I think you're really exceptional at everything you do. I really, really mean that as well. And you've got evidence of your Zara. When I first met you with your clothing company, man, you made it pop, and it really did pop. The whole scene was wearing it.
But look at how I couldn't handle it.
But that's something the lesson you would have learnt there. Now, if you were to do it again, you definitely wouldn't fall into that, because
that's very true. That's happened.
A lot of stuff with Freshly Grounded, over the years, you're so much future planning on what needs to be covered and what needs this and that, and the lessons you learnt from that first time. I see it's implemented in you, and you're so even more than I am. Sometimes I'm a bit ignorant and forget that there's a VAT bill, there's a tax bill, there's rent and stuff, and try and forget it. And you're very, very good at that. In terms of selling your products, from what I've seen, is amazing. Even but I just don't think it happens to everyone fast, and I think it's a mixture of many, many things.
And age.
But I think it's just it's difficult to be successful in the business world, and I think there's so many things that are combined that equal success. I know for a fact you will get exactly where you want to get to in life, because you're built that way. You're super intelligent, and you've got a very, very good eye for everything. I just think it takes time, and we're so busy looking around us and sort of comparing ourselves to what other people are doing. But I think we have to assess where we are later on in life, when we're a bit older, when we've done our time in the business world or whatever that is, and we find our things and make it work, and then inshallah, we get to the age of sort of 40, 50, and we look at it, hopefully then is when we're in a better position. But we're very young now. We're all out here just trying to like figure out what's going on, how to earn a buck here, earn a buck there. But I think it's about longevity and creating something that when you are a bit older, you can look back and be comfortable from it. So I think in this period of life when we're young, we're out here just like in a bit of a rat race, just trying to make it happen. I think later on is when it matters, this success or whatever it is we're trying to obtain here in dunya. I think it's later on we look at it and go, okay, cool, this is what I've now got from doing all this. We're in harvest mode at the minute. We're literally just throwing the seeds down. The harvest will come later. I know that's how I look at it as a young man. I think it's where you put yourself is the important thing at a later age rather than 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s. I think it's
Would you like to eventually go into real estate?
Yeah. You've been listening to Grant?
Actually,
yeah, of course.
I can't. No, but do you know what, bro? There was lots of things that. I did listen to one interview that Grant Cardone did, yeah, and it did lead me to thinking about a few things. And I didn't know he was just like so focused on real estate. I didn't know that was his thing because I suppose
that's
like
his main thing, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't necessarily consumed enough content from him, but I watched an interview between this guy called Alex Hormozi, don't know if you've heard of him, and Grant Cardone, yeah. And I have to disagree with a lot of it just from an Islamic perspective because like he was talking about things like, the mistake people make is that they're too scared to go into debt. And obviously, as Muslims, like we try and avoid debt as much as possible. And he was like, you take people's, you just got to convince people to put their money in a certain thing, and then like so he's like real estate, like got projects are like it seems very heavily based on taking other people's, taking on a debt from somebody for millions and millions, putting that there so that there's less risk from him and stuff like that. So obviously that is like complete no-no. But what I did think from him is, he was talking about basically like it made me kind of have some goals. Like I would like so he was talking about having like big units where you can have like rather than owning a home, owning like a big real estate, a big like retail unit where you are leasing like 10 shops at the bottom and there's like 200 apartments on the top, and then you have that whole building, and that's where you really start. I was like, wow, man, like. Do you know what? I would actually like to have a goal where I like one day can get like afford like a £20 million unit, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to convert this into like retail at the bottom, 2 floors of retail, and then like apartments. Sell the apartments / put the apartments on rent and stuff like that. That feels like a big, good like project to like have in your mind. Like, why not think big, right?
I think that's the best situation you could possibly have, to be honest. Did you say 20 million or 200 million the actual building would be?
Oh, I don't know. I said 20,
big.
But... Is
20? Yeah, no, big. Yeah, I mean, that is literally the perfect... You own that asset, you're getting your rent paid from every single tenant, all your retail, everyone living in the apartments. You're getting passive income from everyone. You've got an asset there which is going to be growing. The value of the actual building itself will go up and up and up and up. It's win-win-win. That's literally the best position you could possibly be in, isn't it? You can just sit back and enjoy your rent being paid and your asset just going up and up. Yeah,
exactly. So I was thinking that's a nice end goal for me to have from a financial
100%.
perspective.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't go wrong. Real estate, you're not going to really lose money as such. The value of it all is going up and up and up. So your money is quite safe in it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. We'll kind of just I suppose figuring it out and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens in the future. Yeah, man. Bro. Let's hopefully we'll try and make something happen soon in Dubai. And I suppose we should I think. Do you agree that we've managed to get a thing some consistency going towards this last hour, right? In terms of technicality.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how this is going to come out. For us, for me, there's been stop and start a few times. We've had some technical issues. Now it's smooth. I believe now you put your Wi-Fi on. I'm joking. Everything's smooth now. So the next time I think should be start to finish smooth.
We'll do it this way next time.
Yeah. I think we figured out a few things. So guys, please be patient. We're just trying to figure out for the first time the best way of doing it. I think we've done it now. So next time will be smoother, inshallah.
And we've not really mentioned it, but you're back, aren't you?
I'm here now. Like I told you I would be.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I did say that.
So I guess we'll see you hopefully 2 weeks from now, like the week after next. Inshallah.
Yeah, let me know, and then we'll work out when I can come out there and grace the new office, and we can do one in person.
I think, inshallah, sooner rather than later.
Inshallah.
Okay,
well, hope that's good, bro.
It's perfect.
And it's been great to catch up with you.
Likewise. Guys, thank you so much. This has been episode 280, I believe, of Freshly Grounded, and we shall see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.